Very much, Richard. And good evening, everybody. Thanks to Studio Galileo, to Professor Laura for inviting me. And sorry very much for being your appetizer, your drink somehow tonight. I hope to be very, very quick. And I also hope you to be interested in what I'm saying, because definitely the introduction by Richard was very good and somehow terrifying with the images, but was perfect. So, of course, we don't have time. I don't spend any word on Saipem showing what we do, because you know what we do. We are the 6th Italian largest company. We are specializing in a number of activity, in particular drilling and large offshore EPCI contracts. And I move on. Then I start from the US Coast Guard report on the deep water case, where there is a very peculiar, in my opinion at least, statement. We're talking about command and control. The report says, because of a clerical error by the Republic of the Marshall Islands, Deepwater Horizon was classified in a manner that permitted it to have a dual command organizational structure. Basically, there was a master taking care of the navigation and an offshore installation manager taking care of all the drilling activities when the unit was moored. And the US Coast Guard report considered this a clerical error by the Republic of the Marshall Islands. First, I will not forget that the Republic of the Marshall Islands are our sponsor tonight, so I will not say anything terrible, but I definitely do not agree with this. And in any case, I just wanted to tell you that there is some confusion on very critical issues like this. So again, dual command organizational structure is a clerical error, and in any way, in the Transocean case, in the Deepwater Horizon case, there was definitely a confusion, because at the end of the day, the master asked permission from the offshore installation manager to activate the vessel emergency. But there are confusions of who's who has to do what. For instance, exactly today, if you go on the internet, there is a job advertised by a very reputable international drilling company where the offshore installation manager is basically what in other circumstances we consider a master. And here it says, he reported to the marine superintendent, so there is another person, individual on the show, and he has an overall command and control of the installation in emergency. So apparently a vision completely different from the US Coast Guard. Again, we have a Northwest European area guidelines where it is clarified here that basically the masters of the vessel are the ultimately responsible for all the emergency situations. And this is the thesis we want to adhere to. So there is confusion, as I said, on the definition, who's who, offshore installation manager, superintendent, master, on the hierarchies, who reports to whom, on what to do in emergency situations, which can be a big problem, as Richard has just shown. So just a few words on the UK law. On UK law, there is, as far as I understand, a Mineral Workings Act dated 1971, which says something about these cases. And basically, it says that provided that this subsection, where the offshore installation manager is considered as the guy in charge of the installation, extend 20 meters, shall not extend 20 meters for which another person is responsible. So here it is indicated that the master under UK law is ultimately responsible, but not in a very clear way, only saying, okay, when the offshore installation manager is not responsible, maybe somebody else is responsible. At least, there is a personal question for me. Is it really not so clear under UK law? Can it be possible? And I'm also asking this because under Italian law, this is very, very clear. For once, we are the clearest, apparently. Because under Italian law, there is a clear indication that the offshore installation manager is responsible when the platform and the unit is moored. The master is responsible during navigation, and every time there is a problem, a risk for damage, an emergency situation. And in case of conflict between the offshore installation manager and the master must have the last word. And this is very clear under Italian law. In Saipem internal procedures, of course, we start from being Italian, first of all, and we are very much international, at least we pretend to be international, and we have definitely internal procedures where it is clarified something similar to Italian law. The master is at all times ultimately responsible in emergency situations. In emergency situations, the command chain rests with him, and the drilling superintendent, which is in our definition the offshore installation manager, is in charge only of drilling operations. So, and this is also irrespective of the hierarchical relation that you can have in your company between the two individuals. So, my conclusions, once again, the Republic of Marshall Islands are perfectly correct in thinking about two different individuals having two different responsibilities. I definitely think that this is correct. I definitely do not agree with the US Coast Guard report. Then I will not go to the US for a while, but this is my statement. And in our opinion, there should be definitely something clear on clear definition of who's who. So, superintendent, master, offshore installation manager, we have to define every time of whom we are talking about. We have to put in place clear rule known to everybody on what we have to do in emergency situations. And in emergency situations, of course, both the offshore installation manager and the master may take initiatives and shall have to take initiatives, but in any case, if there is a problem, if there is somebody to go to, this is the master. And of course, this is very simple, maybe by saying to you, who are all experts in maritime issues and maritime law. This is not so clear, believe me, in all other fields. Thanks again.